let's see classification of carbohydrates. These carbohydrates are classified into three types. First one is monosaccharide, disaccharide and polysaccharide. Now let's start with monosaccharide. Monosaccharides are crystalline. Mono means one and saccharide means sugar molecule. Let's study about one sugar molecule, that is monosaccharide. Monosaccharides are crystalline. Crystalline means crystal. It is in crystal form. Sweet to taste means it is sweet. It is soluble in water means it can easily dissolve in water. So first point is C means monosaccharides are crystalline, they are sweet to taste and they are soluble in water. They cannot be further hydrolyzed. They cannot be further hydrolyzed means they cannot be further broken down into smaller unit, because already it is the smaller unit. It is made up of single unit, so it cannot be further broken down. Now, they are the building blocks or monomers means when many monosaccharides combine together, they form carbohydrates. So these are the basic units. They are the building blocks of carbohydrates. Next is B4. They are the building blocks or they are the monomers of carbohydrates. Then their general formula is CH2O by N. Their general formula, it is similar to carbohydrate only. Their general formula, F for formula, their general formula is CH2O by N, where N is number of carbon atom. In the carbohydrate, the number of carbohydrate will never be less than 3, or it will be neither 1, 2 or 3. It will always be 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now, monosaccharides containing aldehyde group. There are two types of monosaccharide. If the monosaccharide is containing this aldehyde group, that is CHO group, then it is called as aldoses. If the monosaccharides contain ketone group, that is C double bond O group, then it is called as ketosis. So these many points you have to keep in mind. CHB, FAK. C for it is crystalline, it is sweet to taste and it is soluble in water. H means it hydrolyzed, means it cannot be further hydrolyzed because it is only the smaller unit. B means these are the building blocks or these are the monomers of carbohydrates. These are the basic unit of carbohydrate. F for formula. Their formula is CH2O by N, where N is number of carbon atom. There are two types of monosaccharide. If the monosaccharide is having aldehyde group, CHO group, then they are called as aldoses. If the monosaccharide is having ketone group, that is C double bond O group, they are called as ketosis. So here we have completed about monosaccharide. Now we'll consider three examples of monosaccharides. First example is glucose, second one is galactose and third one is fructose. So let's start with glucose now. Glucose is the most important fuel or energy in the cell. Means what? Glucose is the most important. It is acting as a fuel. Glucose is the only which is providing energy to the living cell. See, whatever we are eating in the form of carbohydrate. These carbohydrates are the complex compound. They are getting broken down in the form of glucose, and glucose is provided to the cell for the energy. Now, second point, what is its concentration? How much glucose should be there in the blood? Its concentration in human blood is 90 mg per 100 ml of blood. In 100 ml of blood, 90 milligram of glucose should be there. Okay, then the size of glucose is very small and it is easily soluble in water. It is having two important characteristics, and because of these two important characteristics, it can easily pass through the cell membrane and takes entry inside the cell. Why it can easily getting entered inside the cell? Because its size is very small and it is easily soluble in the water. So easily it takes entry inside the cell through the cell membrane. Now see what happens. If this is a cell, how the cell is getting energy? Suppose this is glucose. When the glucose break down, you know, in glycolysis what happens? Glucose break down. This is another glucose molecule, this is another. Just now I have told you, here between the glucose molecule, glycosidic bond is present. Whenever the cell requires energy, what happens? This glycosidic bond breaks. ATP is synthesized here and large amount of energy is released, which is provided to the cell. Why the cell needs energy? For doing different metabolic activity. So in this way, glucose is playing very important role. It is acting as an important fuel, or it is providing energy to each and every living cell. Its concentration. See, first point, it is acting as a fuel, important fuel. Its concentration, how much concentration should be there? Its concentration in the human blood should be 90 mg per 100 ml of blood. As its size is very small and it is soluble in water, it easily takes entry inside the cell. Whenever the cell requires energy, what happens? This glucose, whenever the cell requires energy, this glucose breaks down, ATP is synthesized, large amount of energy is released and it is given to the cell. So here we have completed about glucose. Next one is galactose. Now galactose looks very similar to glucose. Galactose, the structure, if you see the structure of glucose and galactose, the structure is very similar. So what is the difference? Actually, if you see the structure of glucose, no, in the fourth carbon atom, the difference is there in the fourth carbon atom only. In glucose, the hydroxyl group is present on the right side of the fourth carbon atom, and in galactose the hydroxyl group is present towards the left side of the carbon atom. This much only the difference is there. But though the structure of glucose looks very similar to galactose, but then also they are not interconvertible, they are not getting easily converted into each other, and even their functions are different. Though their structure is same, it appears to be same, not exactly same, but they appears to be same, because only one difference is there in between glucose and galactose. In case of glucose, the hydroxyl group is towards the right side of fourth carbon atom, and in galactose the hydroxyl group is towards the left side of fourth carbon atom. But then also it appears to be similar, but then also they are not easily getting converted into each other. Okay, and they are having different function, their functions are different. When glucose combines with galactose, see, glucose is also monosaccharide, galactose is also monosaccharide. When these two monosaccharides are combining with each other, they are forming disaccharide, that is lactose. This example you have to keep in mind. When glucose combines with galactose, when glucose combines with galactose, it forms lactose. So here we have completed about galactose. Next one is fructose. Now let's start with fructose. Fructose is a fruit sugar. Fruit sugar means fructose we are obtaining from fruits. The sugar which is obtained from fruit is called as fructose. Fructose is having 5-ring structure. Now what it means? 5-ring structure means like this. Fructose, the structure of actually glucose, galactose and fructose, these are the example of monosaccharide. But what is the difference? This fructose is the 5-ring structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this glucose and galactose, these are having 6-ring structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The glucose and galactose are 6-ring structure, but fructose is 5-ring structure. When glucose combines with fructose, it forms sucrose. This example you have to keep in mind for fructose. When glucose combines with fructose, glucose is also monosaccharide, fructose is also monosaccharide. When two monosaccharide combine with each other, it forms disaccharide, which is sucrose. So here we have completed about fructose. Now let's start with disaccharides. See, disaccharides, actually monosaccharides are very rare in nature, but disaccharides are mostly found in nature. Everywhere disaccharides are present inside the living organism. Now see how disaccharides are forming. When two monosaccharides react with each other, suppose this is first monosaccharide and this is another monosaccharide, how they are reacting with each other, how they are forming disaccharide, that we are going to study. See, this is one monosaccharide, this is one monosaccharide, this is another monosaccharide, and they are forming disaccharide. How they are forming disaccharide, this we'll study. When two monosaccharide combines with each other, or when they react with each other by condensation. Condensation means whenever the reaction, when they are combining with each other, here water molecule is released. What is released from here? When two monosaccharides starts reacting with each other, water is released. That is, condensation takes place. Lot of energy is required over here. And as soon as the water is released, here there is formation of one bond. That bond is called as glycosidic bond. Glycosidic bond is there. This glycosidic bond hold the two molecules, two monosaccharides very tightly. Okay. These two monosaccharides unite together and there is formation of disaccharide. Again I am repeating how disaccharides are formed. When two monosaccharides reacts with each other, water molecule is released, high amount of energy is required, and as soon as the water molecule is released, there is formation of glycosidic bond. This glycosidic bond hold the two monosaccharide together very tightly. They unite together and they form disaccharide. In this way, disaccharides are formed. Here three examples of disaccharides we have to study. First one is sucrose, lactose and maltose. Sucrose means the sugar which is obtained from sugar cane. So sucrose are also called as cane sugar. Sucrose is nothing but it is the sugar which is obtained from sugar cane. So that is called as sucrose. See, sucrose is a disaccharide. How sucrose is formed? When two monosaccharide, that is when glucose and fructose combine with each other, when there is loss of water molecule, then when this glucose combines with fructose, it forms sucrose. Lactose, next example is lactose. How lactose is forming? Lactose means what? Lactose is nothing but milk sugar, the sugar which is present in milk, that is called as lactose. Okay, how it is formed, how lactose formation is taking place? When glucose combines with galactose. When glucose is monosaccharide, one monosaccharide, galactose is another monosaccharide. When these two sugar combine with each other, water molecule is taking place, water molecule loss is taking place, condensation is taking place, and they are forming lactose. Third example is maltose. Maltose means the sugar which is present in malt. Malt means the whatever the remaining of the sugar cane, when we take the sugar cane juice and whatever the remaining part of the sugar cane is there, and the sugar which is present in the remaining part of sugar cane, that is called as malt. So that sugar is called as maltose. How maltose sugar is forming? When one glucose molecule combines with another glucose molecule, one water molecule is also released, energy is also required, and it is forming maltose. Okay. Now, sucrose is the non-reducing sugar. Non-reducing sugar means it never releases hydrogen. Lactose and maltose are the reducing sugar. Reducing sugar means they releases hydrogen. Okay, the lactose always exist in beta form. See, alpha form and beta form always you have to keep in mind. See, if hydroxyl group is present towards the right side, if hydroxyl group is present towards the right hand side of the carbon atom, then it is said to be beta. When hydroxyl group is present on the left hand side of the carbon atom, then it is said to be alpha group. Okay, so in lactose always this hydroxyl group is present towards the right side. If in any sugar, if the hydroxyl group is present towards the right side, then it is said to be beta sugar. if in a sugar molecule the hydroxyl group is present towards the left hand side, then it is said to be alpha sugar. Okay, so here we have completed about this monosaccharide. So here we have completed about disaccharide. Now let's see certain more points about disaccharide. Now see, disaccharides are soluble in water, but as they are too big to pass through the cell membrane. What we have studied for monosaccharides? Monosaccharides are very small in size. Monosaccharides are very small in size, so they are taking entry easily inside the cell. But disaccharides are, now these disaccharides are larger molecules, so easy, though they cannot take entry inside the cell through the cell membrane. Now what happens during digestion? During digestion, at the time of digestion, when the digestion is taking place in small intestine, these disaccharides are broken down into monosaccharides. Okay, what is happening at the time of at the time of digestion in small intestine? In small intestine, these disaccharides, they are broken down into monosaccharides. Okay, then they pass into the blood and through, now they become monosaccharide, then they easily take entry through the cell membrane inside the cell. Okay, and these monosaccharides are used very quickly by the cells, but if the cells do not need energy, they may get stored. For example, if the digestion is taking place and now these monosaccharides, they are taking entry inside the cell. If the cell requires energy, these monosaccharides will be utilized. But if the cell is satisfied, now at present it do not require energy, these monosaccharides will get stored inside the cells only. Okay, now monosaccharides are converted into disaccharides in the cell by condensation reaction, which results into the formation of polysaccharides as macromolecules which are too big to escape. Now see what is happening in the intestine. Okay, now suppose this is a cell, suppose this is disaccharide. Disaccharide cannot pass through the cell membrane. So what happens? These disaccharides get broken down into monosaccharide. After getting transferred into monosaccharide, they get entry inside the cell. Now suppose the cell do not, this is the cell, and the cell do not require energy. So what this cell will do, this monosaccharides again inside the cell, this monosaccharide again get combined to form disaccharide. Many disaccharide again combine and they will form polysaccharide. Now see, inside the cell this polysaccharide formation takes place. So why these polysaccharides are forming? Now the polysaccharides will cannot escape from the cell. It will get stuck inside the cell and the cell will use this energy, this disaccharide or this polysaccharides, whenever the time is required or whenever they need the energy. Okay, so here we have studied about disaccharides. Okay, what we have studied in this, in small intestine during the time of digestion, disaccharides are broken down into monosaccharides, and as they converted into monosaccharide, they take entry inside the cell. If the cell needs energy, cell will utilize it. But if the cell do not need energy, that time all the monosaccharides, the cell will store the monosaccharides. What will happen inside the cell? The cell will get converted into disaccharides. Again the reaction will take place and the disaccharides will get converted into polysaccharide. And once it get converted into polysaccharide, that is macromolecule, it cannot get escape from the cell. Okay, one thing you have to keep in mind, whenever there is a reaction between the cell, always condensation takes place, means water molecule is released and then only the bond formation takes place. So here we have completed about disaccharide.